My name is Karen Hadfield and I'm an English-born Australian artist, singer-actor, and for the last 10 years working in Australia I was a festival director of multi-arts festivals, community-based, working on projects bringing artists together with communities to create art in public spaces. First came to Morocco 2 years ago and was always looking to find a project for the desert, and found my place in the Sahara, 30 kilometers southeast of Hadfield, near the Algerian border. I found a rundown place, and I find the landscape incredibly inspirational, and I think my role in life is to facilitate. So I'm facilitating this beautiful landscape with potentially fantastic artists who can come and also find inspiration from that landscape. So I have a small house which I've renovated. It has 2 bedrooms and a salon, and building camps, so traditional Berber tents for sleeping, and also have 2 studios which are kind of at the end of the property that are very private. So if people want to mix in and join in, then we have that facility, and if you want to be totally on your own, we have that facility. So when I first arrived, I met with the Bouchardor family, who live in Termut, the next village to Tisidmin, and they were keen to help me realize my ambition to start this artist retreat. So with the help of Yusuf Bouchardor, we have started this project, and so it started as a guest house and very traditional with, you know, camel treks and everything, but now we start the work of art retreats and artist in residence. So it's just me, it's just Yusuf. We have formed a société. I now have my carte séjour to be able to stay in Morocco. So residencies are between October and March, when it's the best weather. It's a little bit cold, but it's good sunny days. It's just too hot in the summertime to be there. There's no air conditioning. It's solar panels. It's solar electricity. It's very natural. The place is incredibly quiet. It's by a village, but there's no electricity in the village. When I first arrived, we had nothing, so we dug a well, and now we have water. And we put in the solar panels, and now we have electricity. It's all mud brick, built in a very traditional style. I'm not very prescriptive as to who will want to be in that space. I think that's entirely up to the individual. The application to come to Tisidmin is an email to me with links to website. There is no internet access at Tisidmin, so but we go to the nearest town for internet. So it's not a place to come for that style of research. And I get an idea of the work, and I get an idea of yourself and why you want to be artist in residence at Tisidmin, because it's not for everyone. It's a hard life. Just living takes a long time. So hopefully what we do is provide an environment where you are able to free your mind. At the same time, we invite everyone who stays at Tisidmin to join in with cooking or with the life there, as much or as little as they want to. And some people choose to be very isolated and stay in the corner room and just do their own thing. But it's every case is individual, so I don't make rules. What you want to get out of the place, which you might not know before you come, we will help facilitate that. So sometimes the isolation is difficult for people. Sometimes the weather is incredibly harsh, but It's something you adjust to. Length of time is entirely up to the person who is coming, and 1 week is not enough. That's all I have to say on that. So I started in earnest a year and a half ago with the building of the place, and that's taken up a lot of time. Through that time we have some artists visiting, but not for very long stays because we couldn't facilitate that. But we've just had our first writer in residence who was there for 9 days and who said it wasn't long enough. And she found the environment, just perfect for what she needed to do, which was to find just peace and quiet and just be able to concentrate totally on her work. So it's quite a luxury in this day and age. I'm interested in hearing from anyone, really. I mean, we attract a lot of scientists as well, geologists that's rich in fossils, astronomers, bird watchers. I got an email from a moth expert saying, what moths do you have at Tissanmean? And I went, the kind that like light. So it's a big learning curve for me as well. So at the moment, I'm just going, I have this amazing place. Come and share it. It's totally funded by me. I don't apply. I've spent 25 years in Australia applying for funding, and I never want to apply for funding again. So it's funded by the tourist side. So when we run a retreat, we don't have tourists there. But between retreats, we have tourists. So it's taking from Peter to pay Paul, basically. So I try and keep it costs low for artists. The arts don't exist where I am. They are nomads. The children in school do some bits of arts when the Spanish groups come through. There's many artisans in Risani, our nearest town, but the actual notion of art is anathema to the locals. They're also illiterate, so even writing is kind of like when I read a book, they say, why are you reading someone else's story? It is your story that's important. So it's a very different approach to things that I really take for granted. I've been there 2 years. People hardly ever ask me a question about me or my life before I came to Morocco. So they want people to learn about their life. So the engagement is about, and it takes a long time. I mean, I've been there 2 years. It took me a year and a half before I got an invitation to lunch. It's very, very slow. They're very welcoming, but they welcome you into their community, and you can't be imposing at all on what their life is. Well, obviously working in the arts in Australia for years and years and years, I have a large network of artists and from all disciplines in Australia. I'm starting now to build a network in the UK, and I've started with, this is more for the art retreats rather than the artist in residence, but I joined Trans Artist, so that has then brought a whole, I have artists from Ethiopia and Sudan and the Netherlands and New York, so this has opened up a sort of global interest into Zulu.